What is going on, people? Triple M back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about Marcus Rashford, as following the dramatic victory versus Manchester City in the Manchester Derby, there has been a lot of question marks surrounding the future of Manchester United's star, and we finally have answers to those questions because there was an absolute bombshell dropped on the Manchester United fan base yesterday evening. Now we're going to get straight into it and look at some of the quotes that have come out from an interview conducted, I believe, by Henry Winter, or at least he's the one distributing the quotes from the interview. When Rashford was asked about the derby, he was essentially asked about his future at Manchester United and just some general feelings and thoughts surrounding his current situation. So, first and foremost, about the game, when he was asked, he essentially said, "We won the game, so let's move on." It's disappointing that he wasn't involved, of course, but as someone who's gotten older, he's learned to deal with setbacks. He then went on to say that, what am I going to do? Sit there and cry about it, or do my best next time I'm available? Which is interesting. That next time I'm available part is very interesting because based on this interview, it's all but confirmed that his future at Manchester United is coming to an end. And will we see Marcus Rashford in a red shirt again? We'll talk about that shortly. Let's just go through the rest of these quotes. He then goes on to get asked about his likelihood of staying or leaving Manchester United, and he said, "For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps," which is huge. This is the bombshell. This is the quote of the entire interview. He then said, "When I leave, there is going to be no hard feelings, and you are not going to hear any negative comments about me from Manchester United." That's me personally. I know what the situation is already, and I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen many other players who've left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me. Now, this is huge, and there is a lot to break down here. I think first and foremost, I think this is the right decision for everyone involved. And actually, my initial reaction to some of these quotes, especially the ones about him being left out of the derby and him looking forward to his next opportunity, wanting a new challenge, and just looking past it and not wanting to cry about it, is very encouraging from Marcus Rashford. I think this is what he needs. I think this is what Manchester United needs. And ultimately, I think that this is what's best for both parties. Because if we're being completely honest, Marcus Rashford has not been anywhere near good enough for quite a long time for Manchester United Football Club. Purely on a footballing level, he has just not cut the mustard. And on top of that, he's on a lot of money, and getting rid of him, I think, would actually free up a lot of wage room for Manchester United. And that's been a huge problem for us under the Glazers and under this previous ownership model, is our wage bill and our wage structure and just the overall lack of intelligence when it comes to rewarding the right players with contracts and managing the club's finances. Beyond that, I think it just makes sense to cash in on him right now. I think that Rashford isn't getting any younger. He's obviously not getting any better at the moment. And I think he needs this on a personal level, right? Moving away from what's best for Manchester United, let's talk about Marcus Rashford. I think he needs this in terms of just himself. I think he needs to go to a new environment, a new league, and a new club where he will be embraced, where he will be cherished, and where he can get away from the toxicity of the Manchester United fan base, because I think the relationship between him and a lot of Manchester United fans, not all Manchester United fans, of course, because not everybody feels the same way, but a lot of Manchester United fans has broken down. And it's interesting because looking at some of the reactions to this news, it's fascinating. Because there are some Manchester United fans who are recognizing that this is actually a good thing. This is actually a symbol of change. For better or for worse, Manchester United are finally making the difficult decisions. And Marcus Rashford himself is demonstrating the self-awareness of the situation and saying, you know what? I think it's time for me to move on as well. I think this relationship, this toxic relationship, has come to an end. Then you've got Manchester United fans who obviously hate Marcus Rashford and obviously are celebrating. And I don't really agree with those people who hate him on a personal level, because I think that's just weird. And I think that's just odd. I don't think you should hate a footballer personally. I think when it comes to football, you should purely keep it about a player's footballing ability and critique them as a player and what they bring to the team. You should never attack a person's skin color. You should never insult a person's intelligence. You should never talk about a person's character on and off the pitch. And that's the element of this that I'm not happy about. I don't like seeing people painting Rashford out to be this problem or this virus or this person who's unprofessional and has problems, all this stuff in the media about him having late night outs and all of that stuff. I don't like the way his character has been painted and portrayed throughout this entire process. I think it's very sad. But moving away from that, what's also very interesting is the Manchester United fans were very attached to Marcus Rashford. Because you have to understand that Marcus Rashford is more than just a footballer to some Manchester United fans. They feel like he represents a lot of things. First of all, being Manc born and bred, coming through the academy, that's number one. Number two, the fact that he burst onto the scene, had so many moments, right? Debut goals, famous goals that Manchester United fans will remember for a long, long time. And I'm sure to those fans, he's a bit of a cult hero. Beyond that, they feel like he represents everything that's been missing from this club over the last decade. Obviously, with Manchester United struggling, not winning a Premier League title, not winning a Champions League, and not really challenging the likes of Manchester City and the likes of Liverpool. A lot of Manchester United fans have attached onto Marcus Rashford because they feel like in all this darkness, he is a sign of light. He is a beacon of hope. He is a beacon of something from the past. In addition to that, he's obviously done a lot of work off the pitch, right? Politically and just in terms of his philanthropy, he is such a great human being, and his contributions to his local community cannot be understated enough. And those fans are devastated. Those fans are quite rightly very devastated. But what's funny about it is Player FC, when it comes to Pogba, when it comes to Sancho, when it comes to Martial, when it comes to practically any other Manchester United player, are always cussed out. People who say that, we can't sell X player, it's a disgrace. We can't sell this player, it's a disgrace. If we sell this player, I'm going to be X manager out. If we sell this player, I'm going to be Glazers out or Ineos out. It's funny when it was Pogba, when it was Martial, when it was any other player, that was seen as toxic. That was seen as you're not a proper Manchester United fan because you don't have the best interests of the club at heart. And now those same fans are doing the same thing with Marcus Rashford. It's funny how it's all come full circle. I respect people who are attached to Marcus Rashford and really are genuinely hurt by yesterday's news. I respect that 100%. But the element of it that I disagree with is people suggesting that this is somehow not a good thing and that if this happens, which it will, he is 100% leaving, that this is a disgrace, it's a travesty, it's blasphemy, and that we should all be Ineos out. I think that's crazy. Like, the level of hypocrisy there is astounding. Nobody is bigger than Manchester United. I said this when Cristiano Ronaldo fell out with Ten Hag. I said this when Sancho fell out with Ten Hag. I said this when practically any other player in the past has either left Manchester United or has come into Manchester United and had issues. Nobody's bigger than Manchester United. Not Sir Alex, not Ryan Giggs, not Roy Keane, not Eric Cantona, not David Beckham, not George Best, not whatever name you want to throw, Paul Scholes. Nobody. Nobody's bigger than Manchester United, and Rashford is not exempt from that. So I think this is what's best. And if you are able to somehow remove your emotions from this as a Manchester United fan and overlook your love for Marcus Rashford on a personal level as a human being off the pitch, but also for his early contributions to Manchester United on the pitch, you will come to the logical and sensible conclusion that this is not only best for the club, but it's actually best for the individual himself. And he has said that he needs a new challenge. So, I mean, what you going to do? Disagree with Marcus Rashford? What? You think you know what's best for him? It's crazy. Anyways, that's my sort of take on this entire situation. There's so many layers to it. There's so many elements to it. If you are still watching at this point in the video, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch the video. One thing I haven't discussed is where will Rashford go next? That is interesting. I think that will be a separate video entirely because I don't really know. I think PSG makes the most sense, but will PSG actually buy Marcus Rashford? There is so many other options. I've seen people saying that he should go to Barcelona and that's a match made in heaven, which I think is fascinating to say the least. There is so much to talk about when it comes to that aspect. That is going to be its whole separate video. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and of course, leave a comment if you want to. It has been your boy Triple M. Peace!